The following show features stunts and hot dabs performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, Hot Dabs Podcast and Roslyn Evolution must insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact any stunt or activity or hot dab performed on this show.
Well, I was a loser once, but the Lord came and saved me.
All right, we're back. This is a show with hot takes and even hotter rippers, hot dabs. And today we're here at a very special location, Yokayo Ranch, for the annual harvest party from Mendocino Grasslands. And today we're joined by a very special guest, Michael, local to Ukiah, 78 years old, Vietnam War vet, and a grower. Michael, how you doing?
Michael's doing just fine. Good to be here tonight. I'm feeling like I'm in the company of people that have created this industry out here. And it's a prideful thing to be that determination to it.
It is a prideful thing. There's a lot of movers and shakers. There's a lot of people here that have been in the industry before it was an industry, when it was just a community and when it was just a hillside, a ridge line, people that cared about taking a chance for what they believed in.
Right.
Now, Michael, you're no stranger to doing something that you believe in. You're a Vietnam War vet. You've lived in California most of your life, correct?
Correct.
And you've seen it from way before legalization, when it was still all outlaw towns, to the Prop 215, when it started to be, okay, we can kind of do this more in the open. And now today you see it fully legalized. A lot of people starting to shut down. Can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and your lifestyle in California as it pertains to cannabis?
Well, cannabis gave me the segue, the bridge that I could desensitize from my military service. And I think that's probably the premier thing that I would think that the marijuana industry created an avenue for me it created an avenue for me to be normal.
Mm-hmm. Because up until that point, when you were coming back trying to adapt to normal life, were you dealing with like the PTSD of just the hardships that you dealt with out there, and marijuana was what helped you cope?
Exactly.
Yeah. So did you have experience with it before the war, or did you start using it after?
No, I had experience in the war.
Yeah. So there's those viral pictures. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but when I grew up in Pennsylvania, when we would roll blunts,
right.
you could turn them backwards and you would blow what we called shotguns. So we were like, why do you call it that? But then we saw the pictures eventually of the Vietnam War vets putting a pipe in a shotgun in the chamber and blowing it out of the shaft of the gun into somebody else's mouth. Did you ever see that go down out there?
I did not.
What type of consumption did you see when you guys were out there? Would you just roll joints? And where was the cannabis coming from? Did you have to smuggle it to the war, or were you smoking?
No, we bought it from the locals.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were all...
They were readily, they were readily selling to the American military.
So back then, the entrepreneurs with the green thumb were actually making a good living with the American soldiers, or were you guys like just holding the gun up and being like, "I'll pay you"?
No, I don't think so. No, it wasn't like that. No, it was medicinal back then. I was in the military. I was in a combat situation, and that was that helped me to marijuana helped me way back in 1967 to deal with my PTSD. Tell you the truth.
And was it something that you figured out like on your own, just by trial and error, that this helped? Or did you have somebody that kind of said, hey, try this?
No, I think it was out of just, you need something when you're over there.
Yeah.
And marijuana was readily there. So was heroin.
That's what I was going to ask you. But did you stay away from the other substances?
I didn't have any of that exposure, but there are a lot of vets that catered to heroin usage.
Yeah. So
the Vietnamese government made a lot of money off of veterans doing just that.
was it actually legal out there, or was it kind of like a gray area? Like you don't speak about it, but they know it's happening.
Well, I wouldn't say I knew much about it other than what I was smoking.
Mm-hmm. So we're in the Vietnam War. You get back from there. You start to experiment with cannabis. You realize, hey, this kind of takes the edge off. I like this.
Exactly.
How soon was it after that that you realized, hey, I might be able to grow some of this myself?
Well, that was quite a few years before I moved from LA to here.
Okay, so you're in the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What spurred your move from the city up to rural Mendocino life?
Well, that was a good woman called my wife.
You fell in love.
Well, I met her in '78 in San Francisco, and she saved me from myself because I was a pretty reckless Vietnam veteran, combat veteran.
Yeah,
with
reckless to
copious amounts
yourself.
of PTSD.
Yeah.
And the marijuana was fitting the bill, right? It was the golden thing that helped me a lot.
Now, when you talk about dealing with some of those issues, I assume you didn't want to go to the war. Did you get drafted into it?
I got drafted.
Yeah. So what was that feeling like leading up to that? Because our generation has never had to deal with that type of situation. Did you kind of have like a feeling that that was a chance, or did it kind of come out of nowhere all at once and kind of just blindside you?
Yeah, it's blindsided me. I was just out of high school, didn't go to college. And the draft was happening in 1966. You know, with a young Catholic boy coming out of Buffalo, New York, ends up in Vietnam, smoking weed.
And how was the weed out there in Vietnam? Was it decent or?
No, it wasn't. It was not good.
Yeah. It would get you high though, obviously, because you were still using it to some degree, right?
Yeah, of course it was adequate.
So when we start to look back at your introduction to actually growing it out here, did you grow it because you wanted to consume it yourself? Or was it because you realized, wow, I'm in Mendocino, I'm in an area where if I put a couple things in the backyard, I might be able to pay some bills? Was it kind of a mixture, or was it purely for your medicinal?
No, I did it for recreational, and I did it for monetary. And I had my own little grow in my own little area before it was legal.
So back in the days of like camp and like enforcement, when if you had a few plants, you risk actually getting raided. Like it was a big deal no matter how many you had.
Right.
When did you start to see the shift between it being like a big deal to like you realizing, wow, actually more people than not are growing out here? Was it like the 80s, 90s?
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
Yeah.
What do you think was that change? Was it when California went Prop 215?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the transition happened over a number of years.
Yeah.
I grew for 7 to 8 years. It was a great thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was therapeutic. I love getting in the garden. I liked the way the high felt.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me to de-stress. It helped me to not think about the things that troubled me.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason that my wife at the time said there's a place up in Talmadge, California, thank God I moved up here. Got out of the rat race of LA.
You found a little slice of heaven.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we think about cannabis as a therapeutic device because we consume it, but at the same time, the actual act of growing it can actually be just as therapeutic for stress and for everything you're dealing with.
Yeah. No, it was a natural area to be in. Good quality, the Emerald Triangle.
Yeah.
You know, I crafted over 3 or 4 years before I grew anything that was worth anything.
So what did you do over those first few years? Just keep it for yourself because you couldn't really...
No, I didn't grow it. I didn't grow it. Well, I grew it, but I didn't grow it properly.
Yeah. And then you started to learn a little bit each year and get a little bit better.
Well, it took 3, 4 years to do that, but yeah.
That's common for most people. Our friend here has been out here for his first season and he's learning something new every month. So growing, I feel like, is a never-ending cycle that you're growing with the plant. You're always learning.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a perfect reflection of nature itself, and nature is what brought us all together today, celebrating the harvest of another year, 2025, here at Yokayo Ranch. Michael, what do you have to say to the people? What are your leaving words? Any advice for those young viewers at home?
Well, I can't say that that there's wisdom over the years, but you have to accumulate it. You know, life doesn't come at you easy anymore. But Mendocino is a really wonderful, growthful place, and people like that I'm around tonight and that I'm with make me feel prideful that I live in a Northern California community that's proliferating and moving on. And I think, you know, that's what life is. Life is moving on.
Yep. Very well said, Michael. I couldn't have said it better myself. We appreciate you for taking the time to join us today. We'll let you get back out there with all our friends here in the wonderful Mendocino County. If you've never been here, make sure you make your way up. And if you ever happen to be here for a harvest party, you don't want to miss it.
Exactly.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
That was awesome, man. You left people with some wisdom there. That was fire, Mike.
I don't know about that.
That was seriously.
I was a little nervous.
The lights and shit can make you nervous if you're not used to it, but
Well, you know, I mean, there's a lot of compaction about why you're in that area and who you're with. And my wife saved me from myself. I was a fucked up Vietnam veteran when I met my wife back in '78. Wow, you really have to heat the living shit out of that.
Yeah.
So there's stuff in there now,
Nope.
and then you load it in.
Yeah.
What the hell is this thing?
So this reads the temperature, because if you take it real hot, it'll be real harsh and it won't taste good. So now
Wow.
we monitor what temperature we take it at, and it makes you have like a really good experience.
Wow.
It's crazy how it's evolved, right?
Time. It's all about time. What time did you do it? You know, when did you do it? You know, you've been doing it for 5, 6 years like this.
Yeah, it becomes like coded like a recipe. Or you ever hear that like people that do DMT see like ones and zeros? It's like the whole universe we're in is like coded.
Wow.
You ever tried DMT?
I have not.
I'm sure somebody here probably has some.
When you was in Vietnam, did you ever try like put the heroin out there? I heard the stories like about like Frank Lucas, the kingpin that sources stuff from Vietnam.
Yeah, you ever see that movie American Gangster? That guy in New York used to have the soldiers smuggle the kilos of heroin back.
Yeah. Now, heroin wasn't around my company much. It wouldn't serve a good purpose, and we were combat veterans. And
Yeah, they're shooting
if you
motherfuckers.
and if you got somebody that's all jacked up, and you're out there in combat in the forest, you might as well shoot them before you shoot the fucking enemy. Because, you know, fuck, dude, you're too wasted from, you're not.
To defend us, yeah.
But there were about 6 or 8 guys in my platoon that I was real tight with, and we stuck together.
How big are platoons?
Well, the company was probably maybe 120.
Damn.
And there were squads and platoons. I forget a lot of shit. It's been a lot of years since I've been there, and I'm going like, fuck, I can't believe, but I did a year over there. And I was in heavy combat. I mean, it was fucked up. But no, I mean, there were drugs over there, but we were just weeding it and beers, chilling back, and then cleaning the fucking weapons to go out and kill Charlie again. Natural born killer. Well, you know, I was 20 years old.
Damn.
So you guys
My
are
age
just-
right now, that's crazy, man.
They took me out of a year and a half out of high school and turned me into a killing machine within a year after that.
So you went to training for 1 year?
Huh?
Did you go to like boot camp for like a year before they sent you out? Or?
Yeah, it was kind of like there was, right. AIT training, advanced infantry training, was the second phase, which didn't do a damn thing. Because once you're over there, it's like, fuck,
You're
we're
just in the
fucked.
shit.
We're fucked. It's like, no, so that's where you group up with a couple of, guys and your NFGs, your new fucking guys. and your NFGs, and you're disposable. Because
You don't care about them as much.
well, it was pretty fucking brutal, to tell you that. I became, the mockery after a while, because you're there 6-8 months and you're going, new guys are coming in and they're going to make a mistake. They're going to get wasted. You got to learn the trick real quick. So that's what I did. But I was 20, Catholic boy. What the fuck, over? I don't think I even gotten laid.
Damn.
And I'm going,
They sent
I'm
you straight
over.
to war, yeah.
And we were fighting against people that were really good. The Vietnamese were fucking fierce fighters. They were in tunnels and shit. I could tell you fucking stories. Some vets can't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I get a release out of it. And that's more anything else that what the marijuana does for me. It gives me an avenue to let go. I'm thankful that I fucking ended up here, because I was a mess. I was fucked up, I don't know how many years in San Francisco, from 70 to 80. It was crazy after Vietnam, but the weed was my salvation.
It still is a salvation for a lot of people, too.
The Pope loved me.
It became a fucking commodity now to most people. They don't realize how much of a medicinal effect it still has, Now it's all just about the money.
Well, and they didn't even deregulate it yet. It's still considered a what do you call it? A class 1 drug.
Yeah.
But they're trying to change that, I think, in California. But now politics is crazy.
It is.
So how often do you do these events? You said 3-4 times?
Like this event, we've done this one the past 2 years, but we usually do a pop-up event every few months. We've been to Colombia, Spain, Mexico.
Wow.
So we try to get out there and meet different cultures. We did one in Maine. It was cool in Maine because they're kind of similar to Northern California.
Do you have to finance yourself?
Kind of, yeah. I pull some sponsorships for the season, but for the most part, it all just comes out of pocket.
Wow.
But I try to make things like synergistic. When I'm going to a place, I try to do something else. So it's like kill 2 birds with 1 stone,
Wow.
But yeah, you definitely got to pick and choose, because there's a lot of people that want us to come out, but like I can't pay to just go everywhere, It becomes a burden.
Well, you're on the hustle. I can see that. You're out there. You're doing stuff. We haven't known each other that long. What, 4 years maybe?
4 years, 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I can see you growing through a lot of stages of your shit.
Yeah, you got to keep pivoting.
Fuck, I don't know how you keep up the pace, dude.
That's what I've been saying to him this year. I was like, I'm ready to not keep up the pace. Finally, I'm ready to chill or think about something different.
But, well,
it's fucking, this industry wears on you after that.
It's a young man's world.
It is. That's what I've been telling him.
Like, but I'm glad that I made it to old age. But, I really look at the younger people going, wow, they got a chore ahead.
Mm-hmm. That's you, Abel.
But we in the 60s, when I was, we had some bad shit going down there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, presidents were being assassinated, Martin Luther, the Kennedy boys.
That's like kind of similar to everybody getting shot now.
Well, I mean, I've been through a lot of stages, and I remember the 60s, it was pretty fucking, and Vietnam was horrible for the country.
You probably seen
fucking horrible. I came home and I was a peacenik.
Yeah.
Like going like, yeah, veterans for peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it took the war to see that it was no fucking good to begin with. It was a waste.
Yeah.
But, what did they do? It went from WW2 to Korea to Vietnam, then to Iraq, Afghanistan. The same fucking cycle, because they're making money.
Yeah.
I'm making speeches.
It's a military-industrial complex.
But they're making money all the time, and they don't care about the body count.
Yeah.
Fuck, there was like 58,000 killed in Vietnam. Over 300,000 wounded, just Americans only.
Yeah.
And I could have been one of them.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even wounded. The guys I saw around me had body parts blown off and shit like that. And I'm going, what the fuck, Michael?
That's
So
wonderful.
I lived through that way. No wonder I was ganja boy.
Yeah.
What's up, Emily? Come in.
Are you on?
Yeah, we're on. We're always on.
So
When are we not?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, what do we have here?
This is Spressy.
Oh, are you a new one?
Spressy, do you want to go say
anyhow,
hi to her?
that's my story.
Michael, that was awesome. Thank you for joining us,
I really
dude.
enjoy hearing
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm going to turn it off. I had that recording that whole time. All right, everybody, we're back with our second guest of the evening here live from Yokayo Ranch in the beautiful Mendocino, California. And we are with none other than a Mendocino artist himself, Nathan Louis Valensky. Nathan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for helping host this wonderful evening. The setup decorated lovely by your family. The vibes here are always amazing. The music you can probably hear in the background. So today, let's talk a little bit about this county that we find ourselves in and our artists that we find ourselves surrounded by. Sometimes you think if I'm going to be in a creative circumstance, I need to be in a big city. But Mendocino, I feel like, offers a glimpse to people to kind of work remotely or in a rural area, but still be surrounded by people with a like-minded attitude. Tell us a little bit about your experience being an artist here in Mendocino.
Yeah, I mean, artwork is what I feel like I'm here to do. It's what brings me the most joy, and it's how I can express myself and how I can connect with people, other like-minded people. And I feel like within this county specifically, there's two things that this county has to offer that I think are above and beyond what I've seen in not only in California, the state, but in the world. You know, I've gotten to travel and it's a blessing. But this county, there's two things that I think really shine the brightest, and it's the community, the people, and it's the land. And I think those two things are really at the core of why people are here. You know, there's beautiful places to go and visit and to connect with nature. But really, it's the people. There's people that are here that are doing really cool shit. People that are farmers, creatives. There's artists, and it's cultivated a place where people can do what they love to do and connect with other like-minded people. And we just spoke on this, like whether you're painting or you're a dancer or you're a musician, that's art. But if you're a farmer, if you're working with the land, if you're working with plants, that's absolutely a creative outlet. And I think that's why people are here, because historically and contemporary, you know, that's what people are doing. They're creating a living out of what they love to do, and it's expressing themselves through farming and expressing yourselves through the arts. And you know, that's what my life's about. I love to paint. I love working with you know, mediums like spray paint, drawing, and that's what I do. And I'm in my studio and I'm making work. But when I leave the studio, you know, I go to the co-op and you get beautiful food, and it's all grown locally. I mean, there is an abundance of food and things that people are making from this land. And I think that's really what a lot of people connect with here. And other like-minded people who are doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is something that is kind of becoming a rare thing, and that's like the sense of community. Kind of how you speak on this industry itself. It used to be a community. It used to be the cannabis community. But with the legalization and all like the big entities and the corporatization of it, it's become an industry, you know? And in that fleeting glimpse, it's almost like, okay, where do we look for that sense of community again, where the culture is still highlighted? And Mendocino is one of those places that is a safe haven, in my opinion, because the people here will be one of the last stands that have that true respect for the land, the plant, and the self-responsibility we have to keep ushering it in the right way, you know?
Absolutely.
And just like you said, I never thought about it, but those arts the artists of farmers, the fruits of our labor, you know, they're all kind of self-propelling each other. And these experiences that are hosted here at Yokayo Ranch and at the beautiful Mendocino Grasslands, it gives people a chance to come together and, you know, share trials and tribulations. You know, maybe I failed this way, maybe times are tough here, but we can learn from this together. We can come together in this aspect and grow together, you know?
Absolutely. I'm a fan of history. I don't know if you are, but historically, this place was where, you know, the hippies from the 60s and 70s, this is where they first came to really create
Back to the land, right?
exactly the Back to the Landers. This is where they came because they could live the life that they wanted to live. So there's a history here that is not, it's not normal in this whole state. Like cannabis is an incredible industry. It's an incredible plant. It's medicine, but if you're looking at it historically, this is where they first came to really develop not only lineages of the plants, but where they could come and live off the land and live as a community. I like to think of community as a common unity.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's funny how sometimes words have it's right there in front of you your whole life, but you don't look at it that way, and it takes that paradigm shift. Kind of, have you ever seen the FedEx logo and it has the arrow
The
in it?
arrow, yeah.
And you may have not seen it your whole life, but as soon as you know the arrow's in there, that's what I'm looking at every time.
Absolutely. And I think that there's a legacy here that our forefathers and our foremothers have created, and the roots grow deep. And so it's already established. And I think that the people that are here that are still working and developing, they come from this history of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's not a forced lifestyle. It's not something they think is cool and can make them money. It's something that is in their DNA, and it's in their ethos of who they are as a human on this planet. It's in their ethos as who they are as an individual, and it's what they know and it's what they love. And I think in this modern world, I think we've lost touch a little bit with technology.
I was just going to say that. We've lost sight of things.
Exactly. And it's really easy to get spun out and disconnected from what's important to you. And when you go back home to your family, when you go out into the world, it's a beautiful thing. And when you come back home to your family, there's a gentleness, a reciprocity, there's a connection that isn't about furthering yourself in the world. It's just, this is who we are and this is what we do because of the love and because it makes us feel at home. And I didn't grow up here in this county, but I've been here for about coming up on 15 years. But the first time I visited this land and this place, it felt like home.
Yeah.
And I think that's an underappreciated thing, is what that feels like. Home, you feel cared for, you feel seen, you feel valued. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
It's important as a human being to feel like you're seen and you're connecting with like-minded people. And you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
And you're also sharing that with the world. And I feel like this moment in time, we're called to do what we love, not because it's cool or because it's what's in style, but because that's what the people did before us, and that's why we're here. It's a greater calling, and that's why we're here, because we want to do this.
Yeah.
We love what we do, and we love who we're spending our time with. And that's important.
It is important. And speaking of a greater calling, your artistry, through the different mediums, it has a calling to a lot of people, a lot of different collectors. Is there something specific that you try to achieve when you go into making your art? Or is it kind of like a piece-to-piece basis on kind of where your motivation is lying?
Yeah, that's a great question. My art is, very feeling based, but you know, I draw a lot of my inspiration from popular culture. Um, it- yeah, so for me, it's always a feeling first. But also, I like to relate and connect on like a community level, on a socio level. So it's always a feeling. But I think in general, there's always these ideas, these styles that we relate to, and a lot of it is on a like it's on a level that's like a little deeper than just like a concept or an idea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has to be a feeling first.
It's like a vibe. Like
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, vibe, feeling, right? It's all kind of the same, different words that express the same feeling.
Yeah.
And when I work with, you know, I appropriate a lot of imagery and a lot of ideas that came before me, and it connects to my childhood. It connects to being a kid. It connects to that feeling of being free before sort of the pressures of the world sort of come on you, of being an adult and yeah,
That
you know,
authenticity of being a child.
exactly. That so for me, that's where I always try to come from, is that feeling of being unadulterated. You know, because the world and society has this way of sort of pushing down upon you, and that's not a bad thing, but you know, being a youth and being a kid, there's a sort of a level of freedom. There's a level of just not giving a fuck about what people think about what you're doing. So if I can create art from that place of how does this make me feel, and can other people relate to that?
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why I fuck with cartoons and this
Pop culture.
pop culture. There's already a built-in relationship that people have with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already an open door that allows people to connect with the work, which of course is a blessing.
Yeah, you give them that sense of familiarity, but then they also get to know you with kind of some of the subliminal messages that you put into your pieces.
Sure, because what I like to do is I always play with the imagery, and people are drawn to that. But then you work in language,
Yeah.
right? And this cultural aspect of cannabis, of growing up in the 80s, growing up in the 90s, and then it sort of takes this familiar iconography and then flips it on its head, and then you throw in this cultural aspect, and it sort of it flips it on its head a little bit, and people, not only is it sort of irreverent, right? Like it just makes it more playful.
Yeah.
It makes it more fun, right? Like I think that's something in life that as I get older, and maybe you can relate to this, but you know, as you get older, it becomes sort of serious. Life becomes sort of there's less playtime, there's less recess, right? And when I was a kid, recess was the shit. Like,
That's what everybody looks forward to.
you know what I mean? So like, let's be playful, let's have fun.
I never thought about that. It's like people are living life with no recess, and then you wonder why you go out and you get these shitty attitudes
You
from
get
people
burned out.
working 9 to 5 that don't even want to be there.
Absolutely, you get burned out. And you know, we're supposed to be productive and part of this society, but it's like you can't always be productive without a little bit of play. And if you can work that play aspect into what you're doing,
Yeah, into your career.
I think that's partly why you're so successful.
Yeah,
You love what you do and you emanate that energy out, and people are drawn to that.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to that. I think what you do is fucking fire.
I appreciate that.
You know, even in this industry, there's a lot of people that are pushing their workflow onto you, but there's no balance of like, are you actually having fun, and are you enjoying what you do?
Yeah.
And I think that's lacking, and I think people feel that. They know that. But when there's someone like yourself who's creating a platform and an atmosphere to not only be creative, but to have fun and to be playful and to enjoy, come on.
Yeah, it's all about having fun. Like you said, too often in our adulthood, we become jaded And we lose sight of, okay, yeah, we can work 7 days out of the week, but when we die, are we going to look back and appreciate working every day? Or are we going to look back at that time spent with friends, or, you know, maybe that day off where you got to chill with the dogs, you know? So it takes that yin and yang of realizing, okay, I need to enjoy my time, but I also need to have and work towards a purpose, because if I just am leisure 100% of the time, it probably won't be enjoyable, because I'll feel like I didn't work towards something I could have achieved, you know?
Absolutely. And I think it's like what we're doing is it's a microcosm. It's more of a detailed microscopic view, but I think it reflects a larger macro reality that people feel.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day of providing for your family and trying to be successful, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're enjoying what you do, and this is a cliche, but if you enjoy what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And it's not about not working. It's about doing what you love and sharing that with the world, and the world feels that, and that grows. That's the seed you want to plant.
Yeah, that's a great way to leave us off. Plant the seed you wish to see grow, because if you dwell on the negativity that you see in the world, you're just going to keep growing it. So try to highlight what you believe in and try to be that positive influence on the world that we are all living in together. So Nathan, thank you for joining us, dude. And if you guys want to see a longer format, fully in depth on his career, how it got to where it is now and where it's going, give us a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll try to make that happen.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Plant the seeds you want to grow, water the garden, because that's what life's about, brother.
That's what it's
Thank
about.
you for having me.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
That was smooth. That was a good one. Back with our third guest of the night at the Yokayo Ranch in beautiful Mendocino, here with L Rock from Sky Pack of the Bay Area, Northern California.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you're about to know. We're going to start out with this Dr. Dabber hit here, set at about 600 degrees. You cool with a little bit of a hot one?
I do a cooler, more low temp.
Okay, we'll cool it down for you a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I'm a OG in this motherfucker. I already done so many dabs and bong hits. I only got so much gas left in the tank.
So I'll take the hot ones. He'll take the medium size. Okay, he unclipped himself.
Yep, I got it. I got you.
You see how we got the high-tech clips today?
Yeah, clips, bro.
Actual clips. So tell us a little bit about your experience with the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
How did you get to the point where you're at today?
Absolutely. So I was born into this cannabis industry by way of the Grateful Dead family. Kind of just born in, not sworn in, you know. It's just been a way of life for my family since I was a young pup. You know, farm to table life, so to speak, right? And I've worked for a lot of different brands, you know, made my way in the scene. You might see me at, you know, the normal events. Usually I'll pop out. 4-time judge for Emerald Cup. And host, thank you, my brother. Yeah, I think you were there that time. Judge for Ego Clash, judge for Cured Cup, Canifest, Rosin. Yeah, just kind of made my way, young and hungry. And just, like I said, it was just been a way of life since I was a young pup. My parents taught me the game. And I was lucky enough to get in during those times and then move to the medical and then into the recreational Prop 64 here with SkyPack. We're based out of Sacramento. We kind of came into the industry growing for Cookies, Sherbinski, Grandiflora. You know, about 3 years ago, we took the turn and said, hey, if we can make these other brands, you know, provide this high-level product, well, then we could probably blow up our own brand and make some high-level products.
That's crazy. I never knew that. Grandiflora, some of those names you just mentioned,
yeah,
are the best in the game. So you guys were actually doing the cultivating for them and allowing them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now you guys realize, okay, the branding is probably the easier part. We've already been doing the growing. Why not do it all?
Basically, yeah, let's just go all the way in. Well, that's some taste. What's that?
So we're the garlic spritz. This is the garlic juice spritzer. This is Sigil Source Real Deal Resin. Niner Tech, this one.
Miraki.
It's good, right?
Miraki, all right.
So how have you seen the actual development of the industry as you've competed in all these different competitions as a judge and as a host? Where have you seen the quality levels going? Some people say weed isn't what it used to be. It used to get me higher. Other people are like, bro, I can't even smoke anymore. Those dabs got it crazy.
Right,
What's it
right.
like for you?
I feel like it's elevating still. I feel like we're getting better, and I feel like we're getting cleaner, and I feel like the customer is getting more educated and saying no to things like fake terps and distillate and stuff, and really wanting that real deal Holyfield kind of, feel, that authenticity, of what the connoisseurs and the OGs want to smoke, and that's that high-end, high terps, high potency, clean product, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's dabs or flower, you want the best of the best, and it's about an experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you want the high to be on point, but you want that flavor to be there and that whole process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the cannabis community is elevating and still growing, and we're still in our infantile stages.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about because sometimes we think, oh, okay, like for people that have been here before the legalization, you may think, okay, like this is kind of like end stages, but it's still so early.
So early.
Yeah, so many states not even legalized, federal legalization not even open yet, direct to consumer not open yet. So there's still a lot of evolving to go and a lot of opportunity to be had. It's just going to be interesting to see who makes it through. What would your advice be for somebody that's interested? It's kind of a hard time, now to be just trying to get started in the industry. But for somebody that is young and trying to get into it now, what would be your advice?
Be patient. Come with something new, innovative, and creative. Try to be an innovator and a leader as opposed to a follower. And let's elevate the game, right? And that's how we do it, is by creating new heat, bringing new stuff to market and new flavors, and just being authentic with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to be real. I feel like the consumers are starting to become more intelligent, and they're kind of tired of the spray pack generations, the rename, the re-rock, and they want to see something authentic. They want to connect with the grower. They want to know what's coming down. They want to know the genetics. Speaking of genetics, on one final note, what should people look out for from your camp? What's some new that you guys are working on?
Yeah,
that people
definitely.
Need to...
We just dropped some Skywalker OG, some Poison Planet, which is a unique Durban poison pheno on the flower side. But more than that is the black hole.
Okay.
I don't know if you know about the black hole, aka the reverse hash hole. What that is a 1.5 gram hash wrap with 1 gram flour infused with 0.3 rosin sauce.
Have you heard about this?
2.8 total grams.
Crazy.
Testing at 64% THC, making it one of the, or actually the highest testing solventless product on the market as far as the pre-roll goes.
This is the first time we've ever heard about this on this podcast, and honestly, I love the fucking idea. I love the name.
Yeah.
Whoever's responsible for this, you're a stoner, my friend. And
Thank you.
We love
I
it.
appreciate
You're
that.
the one that did this shit? That's crazy.
I came up with the name. I didn't invent the concept. You know what I'm
Great job
saying?
all around.
We did a collabo with Pixie Sticks Official. I don't know if you're familiar with Pixie Sticks, but he's a living legend on the underground and stuff. And we came with this collabo, and I named it the Black Hole, and IMJ ended up creating it, and they did a fantastic job.
It burns?
Yeah, I brought
because
you one.
I'd be
You want to try it? I brought you one.
Let's try it. He
Hold
brought
on.
us one here at the Hot Dabs podcast, a place for firsts.
Yeah.
I realized at the beginning of this I didn't have my mic plugged in, but I was like, man, this segment might be fucked up. It
The
turns
only
out to be
tough
the
part
best.
is opening it, but it comes with a hang tag. If you want to check it out, you can read that. This is the Black Hole, aka the Reverse Hash Hole by Skypack and Pixie Sticks.
This is the Black Hole, you guys. You come to Mendocino, you might end up in a black hole. We're not talking about a K-hole. This is none of that Elon shit. This is pure weed, cannabis on the inside, cannabis on the outside, and the hashish form. So it's rosin on the outside.
It's hash paper. It's a hash paper wrap.
Whoa, okay,
And
I
then
understand.
rosin on the inside with the flour. Right?
I
So it's a
understand
little
now.
tricky to open. It's got the wax. It
We'll
also
open
has
it
a
off
hang
camera.
tag. Yeah.
We're gonna add in the B-roll. You'll be watching us smoke it here. But
There you go.
this thing has a lot of promise. Thank you for bringing this for us, man. We
Man,
appreciate
thanks
you.
for having me. Let me come on and show it, bro. It's an honor to be here with Hashavelli himself on the Hot Dabs podcast. You know what I mean? I had to bring something special. Couldn't show up empty-handed for my guy.
This is
I know
very
you're more
special.
of a dabber. This is more of a flower, but it's right in the middle, dog.
It's right
I
in the
think
middle.
you'll
I
fuck
think
with it.
it's wrapped in enough rosin that we could probably dab it out if we needed to. And
Dude,
just-
if you want to, we can smoke that
if we got
motherfucker
that
if you're feeling
hot,
frisky.
it would get the flower burnt.
Well, here's what's crazy about it. It's almost a zero waste product because there's no paper, right? And it comes down to the glass tip. And then once you get to the glass tip, there's like half of it's coated in the hash paper. So when you take that, you finish your joint, you put it back into the packaging, take it home, scrape off the hash, put it on a bong hit, and then
Rip it.
take the glass filter, recycle it, put it in some alcohol, and then re-roll it again. The only thing left is the lid.
Yep.
You know, so
And if you have somebody that needs to lid something, you send it to
You
the
got
homie.
'em.
Yeah,
Right.
repurpose your lids.
Right.
Upcycling.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
This is an amazing idea. L Rock, thank you for bringing the Sky Pack. Keep an eye out for the new black holes,
Yeah,
courtesy
man.
of the Pixie Sticks. You guys are killing it. Northern California, Sacramento, killing it. They've been on the forefront for a long time when it comes to the quality control of the entire state. So keep an eye out for the hash hole black hole.
That's
It's a
right.
first. Coming at you here at the Hot Dabs. Thank you, L Rock.
Boom, my
Appreciate
guy.
you, dude.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, we are back with the hosts to the party, Ian Powell and Jen Cray from Mendocino Grasslands. Thank you guys for hosting us.
Oh man.
Thanks for being
Yeah, thanks for being here. It's our pleasure, man.
It's our pleasure. You are one of the most humble people. You guys always have the most beautiful setting for us and one of the most beautiful farms. So tell us a little bit about what made you start throwing this harvest party. We've been here, I think, for like 4 or 5 straight years now. Every time it's one of the best energies. You talk about community, you talk about people that care for one another, and this is a perfect example of that, you know?
Yeah,
Tell
for
us
real.
a little bit of how this all started.
Oh man, I think how it started is we wanted to bring the community together and to share what we have here, what we feel is, you know, a special piece of Mendocino County. And I think it's also a busy time of year for everybody being harvest, and it's nice to take a break and a kind of a little bit of a reset. And wherever you are in that mode of harvest, if you're just getting ready to cut, or you've already cut, or you're in the thick of it, or just getting ready to get in the thick of it, it's good to remember, man, to take some time and pause and give thanks and look around to all those folks that are still out here doing it, and to bring them all together, because we're all here in that same like boat, heading the same direction. Just, you know, sometimes you're swimming really healthy and happy, and other times you're just feeling like you barely got water. But it's really great to share some of those ups and downs with everyone and just kind of reconnect and, you know, reaffirm why we're all here and still doing it.
Yeah.
So,
And you guys do a great job of bringing everybody together. And you talk about some of those ups and downs. As a legacy farmer, you guys have been there. You've kind of seen the peaks of this industry, and then you've kind of seen some of the valleys. What has it taught you, and why do you stick with it when when many are just dropping out?
Jen, you want to roll into that? That's
I honestly,
many reasons.
it's a question I think we ask ourselves all the time. You know, I think a lot of it comes down to being really stubborn and feeling like if anybody's going to make it, it's going to be us.
Mhm.
We've both been in it.
Perseverance,
for a long time.
That
tenacity.
mule mentality.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to go. Yeah, there's been plenty of times where like, oh, if it goes below 1,000 a pound,
When it vibrates, you're good.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it anymore. And you know, here we are. We're still doing it, and we're doing it with a smile on our face. And it's like most days, yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what else I would be doing besides this, and we're still doing it, and we're still having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I want to see it to the end. I feel like there is something to say about the last man standing. I feel if we can just hold on and keep holding on, we keep it lean around here. The farm crew's lean. We're lean as a company. I feel like we can act and move as a bigger company and feel and look like a bigger company, but it's really a small crew here, and it's all fam. And it's well worth showing up to work every single day, even with the challenges that we have.
Yeah. That stopped on you here. I'll hit it again for you. Oh, you're still getting a hit. There you go.
Hit it again.
Yeah, I'll hit it again for you. Yep, you're good. When it vibrates, you're good to hit it again.
Word.
So you guys, yeah, you've stuck with it at a time when many have dropped out. And like sometimes, like you said, you wake up every day and you kind of question yourself. but you have given a lot of other people hope. Maybe if you haven't even realized it yourself, I feel like there's people that look towards you and they say, hey, if they're still in it, they're still doing it, I still see them on the farm, I'm going to keep with it. So I feel like you guys should have a sense of respect, because there's a lot of people that look at you with admiration for keeping with it and doing it the right way. So I really
thank you.
respect you guys for the way you do everything. And you're one of the first people that I recommend to anybody who's coming into town or has a question about Mendocino farms, or like when people ask, you know, why do you care about sun grown? Like, why wouldn't you just smoke indoor? You're like my shining example of this is what happens when you bring together, you know, synergistic and sustainability to a balance that, you know, it creates an experience. It's more than just a commodity.
Yeah.
It's the experience, and it shines through with your events you do here too. So
thank you.
you guys should be really proud of what you've done and what you continue to do. And as we talk about what you continue to do, what do you see for the future? Do you think federal legalization is ever going to hit? We've all been waiting for it for years. We wait for that direct to consumer.
Yeah, man.
What do you think?
You know, that's been the what do you think for many, many years, right, for us, right? So at this point, though, there's 40 plus states that are either rec or medical at some level. Like, I just feel like the dam's got to break at some point, and we're going to be able. My hope is that we can go to some direct to consumer, and that way we can give like that taste of Mendocino County, or a little bit of like dip into what we have directly to your doorstep. And without that, you know, California's a rough market, man. It's a rough market to be in, and it's tough. And I just feel like there is really a larger market base with, you know, outside of California. And if we had that opportunity, we could shine a light on Mendocino County and the culture and the pride that we have in growing things organically and sustainably and using renewable energies and things like that. These little tiny micro farms that you come across, and everybody's got their own story. And you know, I just feel blessed to have a farm that's so close to town, right here, you know, in the heart of Yokayo, Mendocino County, where I grew up. And it feels good farming with family and with partners, and with my sister being on staff here and people like Nate, and we came together. It's like, it's a whole team. It's a whole thing. The help that we have along the way from our crew, from the farm people all the way in, all the way up. But it's just this, it's a group that's all heading in the right direction. It feels good.
Everybody here has the same kind of mindset. There's never been like a bad vibe when you come to this place, and it all seems like everybody has kind of the same mission. Jen, when you look at your kind of place in this industry that we find ourselves in, women have kind of been marginalized, and it's kind of hard for a lot of people to even get their foot in the door to even have a place to grow or cultivate. What has it been like for you in your experience as we go legal, and, you know, we see all these big corporate companies come in and all these players? What's it like to be a woman in the industry right now?
Oh, I don't know. So I feel like, honestly, I keep my head down and work here. And so I'm not really looking around. I'm not trying to get a job anywhere. I'm not interacting on that level to really feel kind of that, what you're talking about. I don't really feel it in that way. I get a lot of respect at the company that we have.
Yeah.
She owns it.
And I don't know, I grew up in the industry. My parents have grown my whole life. I've been growing my whole life. And I do know what you're talking about. I've definitely experienced it throughout the whole time. And I honestly feel like it's gotten better now with legalization, because there are more women. I don't know. It does feel better. Like there's more respect for sure.
Yeah, it's been hard before, because with the non-legal aspects, you kind of have like avenues of just lawlessness, you know, and outlaw territory. The plant has always been kind of something that with the inherent value came people that were just in it for the money, you know?
Yeah.
So it was hard to kind of make your space. But like, as you've seen here at this farm, women helped led and grown, cultivated some of the best herb that you're ever going to experience. You know, Mendocino Grasslands is known for some of the best sun grown too. So it's grown in a sustainable manner because they actually care about the land that we're on, you know, preserving it. So we appreciate it. Is there anything that you want to leave the people? Anything that the people at home should know if they don't know about Mendocino Grasslands? How can they get in touch and help support a small farm?
Oh, man. Reach out. I mean, we're at MendocinoGrasslands.com as well as on IG. And then, you know, Yokayo Ranch is where you can find us as well. I mean, we're here on the farm. We're here all the time. Reach out.
Pull up the driveway.
Pull off the driveway. Come down the dirt road.
Yeah, maybe not.
No, swing through, seriously.
Yeah, just show up. No.
If you guys are ever interested in events, weddings, graduations, if you just want to throw a party, Mendocino Grasslands is located at the Yokayo Ranch in Yokayo, California. So it is one of the most beautiful destinations. Thank you guys for making this place such a warm home to everybody that isn't even home to Mendocino. You really welcome everybody with open arms, and the plant is fortunate to have people like you still working with it. So thank you guys.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you.
See guys, that's what we do it for, interviews like this. And it took us 3 years to get them on. So you're lucky I kept persisting tonight.
Yeah.